All right, folks. Here we are on week 3, chapter number 4. So progressing right along. Just as an update, here we are. We're on Tuesday morning, May 28th. And so yesterday was a holiday, and so I hope you enjoyed the holiday. Today I'm coming in. I'm starting to grade all of the work from last week. Hope to have that done in the next 24 hours or so. So I would say by the end of tomorrow, let's shoot for your grades should be in for everything from last week. So to kind of start there, what's on the agenda for this week? It is just a single chapter and no tests. And so that single chapter is chapter 4. And so as we have done so far, we're going to have a homework assignment on chapter 4 that is submitted on Inside Rankin. So if you go to your course, you go to course work and scroll down, you'll be able to see chapter 4 homework due on 6/2 is an open assignment, and you can take that. Now, I always recommend reading the chapter first. Of course, these written tests come directly from the book, so all of the theory will come from that, and of course, that will help you with the lab as well. If you understand the theory, that will enable you to have less problems in the lab. All right, the next assignment after you complete the reading, again, my order of operations would read the chapter first. Don't skip the reading. Then I would watch this video right here. This is my lecture on chapter 4. If you can kind of click on here, make sure that opens up right. You can see right there how to develop a data-driven MVC app. So this is my lecture. So read, watch the lecture, then I would take the homework. Chapter 4. Then I would do the student project. Student project chapter 4, as you know, you've done a student project or 2 by now. This is on the homepage of Inside Rankin, these student projects. And so you have one of these to do this week. If you kind of scroll down, you'll see under Lab Instructions heading, you have a Student Projects. That opens up a PDF file. Okay, so you've done this for Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and here's Chapter 4. Now this application has a bunch of requirements. And I think it's a one-to-one relationship, if I remember correctly, that you're doing CRUD operations. You're on a database, create, read, update, delete on a contact. And a contact has a category. One contact has one category, a friend, a coworker, that kind of thing. So it's a one-to-one relationship, and you're doing CRUD operations. Again, all the specifications can be found down here. And I will say that this lab will take some time, okay, as you're newer to all of this, creating this contact manager. Again, if you watch this video, it's a 2-hour video, and so there's just a lot to this chapter. I'll just start by saying that there's a fair amount of content in this chapter. So it's the only chapter this week, but there's a fair amount of work. And so on the surface, I would just advise you that there's a fair amount of work here to build this contact manager and implement all the specifications that are in this document. Okay, so like make the URLs lowercase with trailing slashes. There is here's a relationship of contact to categories. Having some validation, right? So input validation, getting that correct on your application, and including seed data for your categories. Again, you'll get the seed data, how to provide seed data in the video, how to provide seed data, and There's something in here somewhere. They mention the use of a slug, which is a part of the URL and creating these custom slugs on the application. On a glance, I'm not seeing the actual requirement. Point is, there's a lot to this application. I wouldn't expect to, build this in, a couple of hours. It's probably going to take, depending on the student, 4-8 hours, maybe more. And so, written test, projects for chapter 4, and then a final project for chapter 4. Now, the final project right now in its current form for chapter 4 is actually probably you'll be able to get this done a little bit faster once you do the student project. So not as many requirements on the final project. Let's look at this. Here's the rubric, and I'll show you how you get to it. Okay, I went ahead and got that open on Inside Ranking. So here you could see final project, ERD and CRUD. Oh, I forgot to click on open. So let me click on open. There we go. And so these are your 3 assignments, ERD and CRUD. If you open that assignment, you'll be able to see the link to the Google Doc. Open the Google Doc. It says instructions and rubric, and there you go. So I got to open twice. So the first thing on this assignment is to create what's called an entity resource diagram. This is a picture. You're going to create a JPEG of your different entities in your application. So you've all submitted a topic idea to me. And in that topic, you're going to be saving and working with data on many different entities. I'm going to make a follow-up video. I'm going to make this video tomorrow to show you how to do this, because you probably haven't created an ERD before. And, this is a plan for the database design that can be communicated in a picture, in a diagram. And it'll be back and forth, with me to make edits and updates to this picture as you build out your application. So again, part 1 is to build this ERD, to make this picture. That's worth 20%. You can see the ERD needs to include a one-to-many and a many-to-many. The key takeaway here, I will make a video and I will link that video on the playlist. I'll send an email. I'll link it in this document. I'm going to make a video tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, by the end of the workday. But you will have this video to help you make this ERD. You follow my guidance on that video. That'll be the first 20%. And then the next 80% is to do CRUD on one of those entities. So provide the following functionality for an entity that is the one in the one-to-many. So like a student, one student can have many grades, for example, but a grade only belongs to one student. So that's a one-to-many, just off the top of the head. So in this case, I'm going to do CRUD, which stands for Create, Read, Update, Delete, on my student, the one in the one-to-many. So one student can have many grades. So the one thing is the student. And so we'll be able to add new students into the database. We'll be able to read students out of the database and put them into a table. We'll be able to update student data, like their middle name or their address, whatever it may be. And we'll be able to delete students. And you will submit your application at that point. It's, by the way, I mentioned this up top, you are continuing to build on your application from chapter 3. So you're not starting anything new here. You're going to build on top, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to work on this application all semester, and you will continue to add to it. And so, again, for this chapter, you're going to submit a JPEG ERD or a ping or whatever image you want for your ERD. Video tomorrow explaining that. as well as adding CRUD operations on a single entity to your MVC app. And that is week 4. So I will note that because of the holiday yesterday, there's not anything additional this week. And so I did take that into account of a holiday. So there's maybe slightly less work than there may have been otherwise due to that holiday. However, it's still a fair amount of work, right? So don't procrastinate. Start getting this done. Start the reading. Start the homework. Tomorrow I'll put out a new video. I'll spam it everywhere so you get the video on how to create an ERD for your lab assignment. And that will be the completion of week number 3. Again, everything's due on Sunday as has been. So 3 assignments, 2 going under lab grades and 1 going under that written test homework grade. Reach out with questions. Thank you, folks. Bye.